Being adept in social situations is the affidavit for an all good personality, or at least this is what is in vogue. And to lack in it certifies your inadequacy. In a world where outgoing personality is celebrated as much as to make the other feel inferior, why would one even think of being a reclusive man? Why would I be mum when merely shouting signifies for my proficiency? Why would I be locked up alone in a room when attending functions, meeting people, making contacts promise me of better career opportunities? Or in simple words, why to choke on introversion in this extrovert ideal world? Introverts are often seen as an anomaly, like an alteration in human mutation, as though a person in all its well-being should be talkative and gregarious by nature, and those who aren't are defective.
Gary Manheim, graphic design.
And what do you do, Cake Man?
But what's defective though and deceptive as much is the culture that exalts such superficial and pretentious behavior to be the gospel truth. The culture that values presentation more than what is being presented itself. The culture that exalts the importance of knowing who you are with more than who you are. But is the extroverted culture really what it appears to be? Or are we just playing victim to our own folly? Much of the extroverted culture came into prominence after the Industrial Revolution. The need to have a good personality is the 20th century invention. There wasn't even the word personality in English dictionary in the 18th century. But with booming corporate world, people who were inside of their houses in the agricultural society, sewing or knitting or carving or painting or writing or chafing wheat, were now made to sit in big industries with complete strangers. The liberty to work on one's own and put forth one's uniqueness and creativity was now replaced by the tedious jobs of industries done in tandem. With nothing much left to distinguish oneself with one's work, people started building personalities to stand out. The one who talked, wore a fake smile, had enough accessories to brag about, became the ideal self. Subsequently, we had schools to keep up the workforce required in these industries. The education, the most of it that used to be a solitary activity, became institutionalized. Schools, colleges, universities, degrees started to speak for our wisdom. Better the college, the better you are. And this too thrived on the same extroverted culture, showing off hands in the class, participating in group activities, flattering teachers became the definition of an ideal student. There is no wonder as to why institutions and industries are so very same in its blueprint, because they share the common goal. Mass production. In industries, we have the products on the assembly line, and in school, we have the students, both advancing slowly to be packed and sold. And in all of these changes in our culture and behavior, we have unknowingly turned strange to our quiet self. This isn't about introverts or extroverts or loudmouth versus closed mouth. I'm specifically talking about introversion, the part of us that craves for solitude, though in varying degrees, but it does. It's in all of us, regardless of who you are. Don't let that quiet self be suppressed just because it looks cool to join the bandwagon of the Pied Piper. Don't let your introversion choke you because that introversion, solitude, loneliness, or the time that you spend with yourself is the only way you could know yourself. And without self-awareness, I fear there isn't much you could do about other than chopping wood and fetching water.